Welcome everyone. Another daily market blitz here. We'll cover a lot in this episode. We went over a lot of higher time frame patterns, higher time frame signals, and you got a good idea the higher time frame patterns we're looking for, bullish and bearish. And we'll go over patterns. We'll cover pretty much every pair because I think there's interesting stuff across the board, even when you get into some of these crosses. And we'll look at higher time frame stuff, and we'll dive down to the lower time frame, cover patterns, cover trend, all that kind of stuff. Should be a good one. So let's get started. Risk disclaimer, read it over, and let's go. So we'll start off with the majors, right? I guess we'll start off with Nasdaq. Um, we're on the 3-day chart, right? Do we have anything on the 3-day chart? No, we're sitting at a higher high. We drop down to the daily chart, and you don't have anything, right? There's nothing. You're sitting at a higher high. You don't have a sell. You don't have a buy. Drop down to the 4 hour. All right. What do we have? You're bouncing off the 89 right now. So I mean, your trend is still bullish. It looks like you're correcting, and I was kind of surprised to not see an explosion right here. All right, because I was looking for a flat correction off of this 89. You're oversold on the 4 hour, bouncing off your 89. When you jump up to the daily, you're still bullish. Um, so I was kind of expecting an explosion right here, especially this. I was kind of surprised to see this get rejected right here because I was looking for a flat correction, kind of something like this. And then we have our quarterly R1 just above us. So I was looking for a flat correction, and maybe it throws you one more up to your quarterly R1, and then that is where you would want to take a shot at a look for sell setups in the lower time frame. So I was kind of surprised to not see a big bullish reaction right here, even for this C wave up. So doesn't mean anything yet. And when we drop down to the 1 hour, there's not much, right? So your 200 didn't hold. It was surprising not to see this go right here, right? Surprising not to see that go. And then you drop down and you think maybe you're making a running flat right here on the one. Let me clear all this off because this could have potentially been a running flat right here for a B wave. All right, you have an A wave down, A, B, C, and your B wave's over. Right here would have been your A. Coming down for the B wave, and you just get a C wave on up, and your trend is bullish anyway. So, to be honest, I was kind of surprised not to see this take off, and it actually got rejected. So, that's pretty bearish. And now you're even getting some 1 hour divergence down here. And it looks like Nasdaq's struggling right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some lower time frame sell setups come into play here. So that's where we stand on that. Dow's been falling apart. S&P 500 is down at its 4 hour 200, right? So you're looking for a double bottom to buy off the 200. You're looking for a bearish 34 trade right here down to your 200, and then you're looking for a bullish 200, and this would be your buy setup. You would have two trades in a row. Either this bullish 200 double bottom is going to hold and you're going to go up, or it's going to fail. You're going to just make a flat right here and you're going to start to roll over, which means you're just making some higher time frame corrections. So if you get a bullish 4 hour close like this, you could take it. But then if it turns into this, you're looking for sells because now you're probably coming down to you're probably making a bigger correction down to your daily 89, your daily 200, stuff like that. So the smaller time frame is going to lead the way, and I think this is going to be the talking point right here at the 200 to what happens. Are we going to get a double bottom that takes off and retests these highs? Or is just this double bottom going to turn into a flat correction? And you got a sell set up on this bearish 4-hour engulfing candle. So that's kind of where we stand on the markets, right? Nasdaq, S&P, and all that. Oil. Daily chart on oil. This could be correction for a move down, right? It's a 34B. If we look at the 8-hour chart, right, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swing sequence. Here was your 8-hour trigger for that 5 swing sequence. And it looks like oil wants to come take out these lows. All right, that's all we got so far. You don't have a higher time frame trend. You jump up to the daily chart, and there's no trend. It is kind of a 34B. Your short-term EMAs are stacked bearish, so if you wanted to go ahead and take a sell to see if we take out the lows at 76.24, you can look for sell setups. Your 8-hour trigger was 4 bars ago for that potential move down, so you're looking for pullbacks now in the lower time frame, 1-hour chart. You're looking to take a 1-hour 34B down. If it gives you a 1-hour 34B without taking out this high, you can go ahead and look for trend continuation to come take out these lows. Gold. Gold looks like we could possibly be wanting to make a 3-wave structure. Right now we're on the 1-hour chart, right? So if we jump up a time frame to the 4-hour chart, this is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swing sequence. Will we get a 5 swing sequence up to the 100? And it's also a potential double bottom off of the 200, right? So these are bullish setups. Now, you got your quarterly R2 pivots up here. The question is, do you stop here at the 100, or are you going to get a bearish engulfing candle right here? And then that's going to be your entry, because you're going to have a 5 swing sequence on the 4-hour chart. Lower high, potential impulse goes to come take out this low. It's also a potential 200 double B as your higher time frame is bullish. So, but you did have major divergence up here on the 3-day chart at your quarterly R2. We jump out to the 3-day chart. You got major double top divergent at your quarterly R2. We could drop down to our 3-day 34, which is 22.38, 130 pips below you. So I'd be more inclined to be looking for a 5 swing sequence up to 2400, and a bearish engulfing candle. This could be all the correction, and we're going. You're making basically, and then you would measure this at that point, impulse down to the top of the correction, and this is your next stop. You're going to stop at the 100 for a zigzag, or are you going to run to the 1618? All right, so that's what I'd be looking for on gold. Nothing to do right now until you at least get close back below the 8, so that's where we're at on gold. Silver, we talked about in the weekly Forex forecast, we talked about silver just going sideways. I think you got to go sideways a little more. 3-day chart, yeah, oversold. 4-hour chart, not much to do, right? There's not much to do on silver. We are looking for that potential move down. We're looking at all this as correction. Hide these indicators. We are looking for a C wave down, but we're looking for this, right? Just making an A, a B, a C, and a move down. So you don't really have a sell setup yet, though, and I'm not really interested in buying these highs without a larger consolidation up here. So it's kind of where we stand on silver. Drop down to the 4-hour chart, and it's where we're at. 4-hour chart, 1 hour. Not much doing. You're coming up against your 200 again. Are you going to get a double bottom here off your 200, or are you going to fail? You're going to make a double bottom that fails, and you're coming after these lows. So that's kind of where we're at. 4 hour. Getting oversold, kind of have a 34B, right? You're waiting for another upcycle to see what happens. Like I said, I wouldn't be buying this because you're way overextended too. Your quarterly pivot, you're way above your quarterly R2. You're at the top of a pattern, top of that potential B wave. So I'd be more inclined to look for sell setups that you don't really have yet. Copper looks more bearish, right? 4 hour, you're coming into your 200 right now. And we jump up a time frame to the daily chart. You're oversold at the 34. This is kind of where you'd be expecting like some consolidation here. Hold on a second. Right, you'd be expecting some consolidation at least because you're at your daily 34, you're oversold, and you drop down to the 4 hour, you're coming up against your 200. So any kind of failed double bottom here, we make any kind of failed double bottom off the 200, and I think we could start dropping. So you're kind of looking for something like this. And you're going again. So that's kind of what I'd be looking for in copper. Let's go to euro. What do we got on euro? We talked about the two patterns that we're looking for on the daily chart, right? We established we have really no trend on the 3-day chart and the daily. You have no trend. So you're looking for sideways correction. Are we going to get a sideways correction back down to the lows? All right. Or is this all your correction? Is this all your correction right here? And are we getting ready to come take out these highs right here? All right. So it's one or the other, and there's no trend, there's no bullish trend, no bearish trend on euro dollar. 3-day chart is right completely sideways. You are oversold, so I mean overbought. And when we drop down daily chart, there's no trend. So we got to jump down to the smaller time frame to find out what's going on. So are you going to make a double bottom down here off of the 200? So you kind of got to see what's going on in the battle, right? You got to bounce off the 200. So are you going to make this? And you could take a buy setup to find out if you're going to come take out these highs. But if you get a bearish engulfing candle right here, now we could be coming down for that larger running flat. All right. Larger bearish running flat to the downside. And that's what we're looking for. So you got two possibilities, and you're just trying to figure out who's winning that battle in the lower time frame. So you jump down to the 1-hour chart, and you have a correction right here. You have an A. We're in the 1-hour chart right now. I'll take these indicators off just to clean it up. I'll clear all these drawings off, right? So we know the two higher time frame possibilities. Right here we have a running flat. What happens after this? What happens after this ABC? You get a move up that's a lower high, right? And then now you come break the lows again. So, and you have a little running flat right here. So the question becomes, what is this impulse going to, right? You got to track this impulse now. If we start working our way back down to the low, you're assuming flat correction right here, and you're going. And you're going to the downside. Looking for that. All right. So right now, as of right now, This is kind of what it seems like we're doing on the lower time frame. I don't like going to the lower time frame though, because the structures can change often. And what I draw now could change by the time we market closes. So, but as of right now, this is the clear structure we have: a W, an X, and a Y. And we measure this, the first correction to the top of the X wave. You already came down to the 100, right? And now you have an impulse up. So are we going to work our way back down to the low, or is this 1 hour impulse going to correct right here? And then this tells you the story of what's going on. You're going to get a 1 hour correction for upside, or are we going to start working our way down to the low and get this pattern? So that is euro dollar. And like I said, this structure can change. So, but basically you'd be making a large correction here, and you'd find out, right? And then you'd be looking for another correction down here, and you're looking for trend continuation at that point, if we start working our way back down to the low right now. So that's what we got so far on euro dollar. Anything to do right now? No, we have a bounce off the 200, right? So your 4 hour entry was 2 candles ago. If you want to take a shot at the first 200, a lot of times you will get that double bottom. That's why I kind of am expecting a 3-wave structure back down here to the 200. And then you're going to get that double bottom off the 200. You'll be able to buy. So if you got a setup like this, you can go ahead and buy it to find out if this double bottom is going to continue and take out these highs. Or is this double bottom going to fail at the pattern completion right here, flat completion, and then come take. And now once you get a candle like this, you're out of your buy and you're in the sell for that down move. All right, so that is euro dollar. CAD, what are we looking for? We're looking for buys in CAD all the way. We're absolutely looking for buys. Why do we want to buy this structure right here? All right, because this pattern could be over, right? We could be getting ready to make, in my opinion, we're getting ready to do this. I'll clear all these drawings off, get rid of these indicators. And CAD to me looks like you want to do this. Break this high. Looks like you want to make a running flat right here. All right, so, and then we'll measure this. Right, you would come down to that 100. This makes a running flat. And after that running flat, you are completely gone. Jump out to the 3-day chart. And you're gone. Something like this. This is the structure that, to me, that looks like is setting up right now. Now, let me clear this off, because, which is why you want buys right here. I think we're getting ready to come take out these highs right now. But if we don't hold, right, so you want to look for buys right now because the trend is also up. But if this winds up not working out and we wind up dropping down to here, now guess what? When we step out to the monthly chart and put our indicators on, what do we have? We're going to have a 1, a 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 swing sequence to the downside, to the 5 swing sequence down to the 3089 or 34. And this whole correction would be over at that point. And you're looking for an impulse up at that point. An impulse straight up. So it's why you want to take the buy setups now that you have. Because if this level doesn't hold, now the larger correction itself will just be a 5 swing sequence. But you're inside of a monthly impulse now. You have a monthly 1, 2, 3. This correction could be over, and you could be inside of this monthly impulse now, which is why you want these buy setups. All right, so You want these buy setups for the potential running flat I just showed you, right? We zoom out for this potential. Move up, and then maybe it throws you running flat, and then we go up big time. All right, so 3-day chart, it's kind of what you're looking for. Uh, so you're buying now in case we're making a run flat right here. You're buying the C of the B, right? A, B, C wave down, and then we're going, right? If we don't hold right here and we start to roll over and we come back after these lows, you're going to have a monthly 5 swing sequence, and this whole correction could be over, and you get the impulse up. So you want buys in dollar CAD, not to mention your 3 days bullish, your weekly's bullish, your bullish, your trend is bullish, and your patterns are bullish. So either pattern. The only thing is, if you get stopped out on these buys, then you're making a larger wave down right here to complete the monthly structure. All right, so that is what we have on that. Aussie, we already went over this. I'll clear this off. We're looking for this running flat to the downside. All right, our 3-day chart is overbought. Weekly chart is in a clear downtrend. So we're looking for this to be an expanded flat, and we're looking for an impulse down. Daily chart. What do we have? The other possibility is this is all your correction. It's a less of a possibility that Aussie does this. All right. Just because of this 3-wave structure right here. You typically don't end a wave in a 3-wave structure that looks like this. So I'll clear this off. What do we have now in the lower time frame? When we drop down to the 4-hour, what do we have now? So Aussie is ahead of the other ones, right? Aussie's about to tell us what it's going to do next. You got the double bottom off the 200. Your trigger bar on the 4-hour chart was 2 candles ago. So the question is this going to be a flat right here? So, or is it going to keep going and take out these highs? And if we come up here and you get a bearish engulfing candle right here on the 4-hour chart, guess what? That's your trade, because now it's coming after this double bottom and this whole thing's falling apart. And this could be the start of that daily move down we're looking for, right? All of this as an expanded flat. It could be the start of this impulse. All right, so could be the start of that impulse to the downside. Back down to the 4-hour chart. This is going to tell us all we need to know. Right here, are you making a flat correction right here for downside, or is this double bottom going to come take out these highs? And even if it comes and takes out these highs, it's still not over yet, because an expanded flat can run to the 1618. So you measure the high of the A wave to the low of the B wave, and you didn't tag your 1618. Your 1618 still right here. So you could very well just make one more higher high up with divergence, break these highs, you got divergence, and then you start rolling over. So you got to track it on the lower time frame, 4-hour, stuff like that. 8-hour chart, you've got an 8-hour double bottom. I'll clear all this off. 8-hour double bottom off your 89, right? You're oversold. This thing should go, right? You're bullish. Your 8-hour is bullish, and you're looking to go. If you stop right here on the 8-hour chart and you get an 8-hour signal that looks like this, go ahead and take the sell. You could take the 8-hour buy now to find out if you're going to come take out these highs. You just manage risk. Focus and manage risk. That's all it is. You could take a double bottom, see what your 8-hour does, see if your 8-hour trends above the 8 and comes and takes out these highs. When the 8 hour closes below the 8, you shut the trade down, take profit. Look for the next trade. And you got a 3 swing sequence on the 8 hour. You got a 1, you got a 2, you got a 3. So it could go. Now, that is that. Let's jump down to the 1 hour chart. Nothing. 1 hour is completely sideways. 4 hour double bottom. So, like I said, Aussie should tell us what it wants to do pretty soon. If these double bottoms get taken out, I think you could start selling off pretty hard. So, not to mention, if we take a look at copper, Aussie is correlated to copper, and we're expecting a big move down here in copper, a running flat. We're expecting to make a running flat. We're on the 3-day chart. If copper makes this C wave down we're looking for, there's a good chance Aussie will follow it. So that is what we have on Aussie from the higher time frame to the lower time frame. And on the 3-day chart, if you count this correction, you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swing sequence. So our next 3-day close below the 8, right? If you don't like trading the lower time frames and the 4 hours too noisy for you, the 1 hour is too noisy, 8 hour, right? You can sit on your hands and wait for the 3-day chart to close below the 8. And then now you could have a 3-day impulse back down to these lows. So I'll be doing it soon. I'm in the process. I'll deposit some money into Oanda and I'll start taking these trades and updating them daily. I won't do so much lower time frame stuff. It'll mostly just be 3-day setups and daily setups, and that's it. Maybe the 8 hour. But you could do that as well. Wait for the 3-day to close below the 8. But that's your question. Are you making a flat right now, or is this a double bottom? Right off your daily 34. Your daily's bouncing off 34. Your 8 hour bouncing off the 89, and 4 hour bouncing off the 200. So that is where you're at. New Zealand. Oversold 89. You're getting a trigger right now for an 89B. When we look at the daily chart, you're bullish. So technically, this is a bullish setup on New Zealand. If this fails, you still really don't have a sell setup. There are no clear patterns to the downside, and New Zealand looks like it could come take out these highs because this is the clearest pattern we have. The clearest pattern you have on New Zealand is a bullish AB, and you're in the C wave now. All right, on your way to the 100. So, and at minimum, break them highs. And when we throw our pivots back on, and put our pivots on here for a second, just so I could show you. Your R2 lines up with your 100 up here. All right. So if New Zealand continues to rally, you're going to be having pattern completion at your quarterly R2 up here. And from that point, we'll be looking for a big move back down. All right. So you're going to have some good trading for a while, and everything's kind of just, you're inside of this impulse over here. So this spot is going to be a great area to look for a sell setup if we can make it up there. So you're looking for buys in New Zealand. I would look for sells in Aussie. And that's kind of where we stand for right now. All right, pound. Pound, we tagged 100 at this potential zigzag, and you just got a reaction from that so far. There's no clear pattern. You tagged 100, you come down, you're bouncing off your 89 on the 4-hour chart. 1 hour probably tagged at 200, right? So you start correcting down here like Aussie. You start making a double bottom down here on the 1-hour chart and start to fall apart. But there really is no clear trend. There's no clear trend on the daily chart. Let me get rid of these pivots. You're contracting, and your quarterly pivots tell you that as well. You're just contracting. There's no trend, and so more than likely you're going to be in sideways correction, and we're just correcting this impulse up, right? Correcting this impulse up from these lows to this high. Everything is in the middle of that, and you're just making a large correction. Now, just by the structures, by the 3 down, 3 up, you're kind of looking for like a flat correction. You're expecting sideways correction, and you're looking for 3 up, 3 down, 5 up, flat correction, right? From here, you get the impulse up and move down, right? So we're kind of just looking for this. This would be your simplest flat correction you could draw right now. And that's kind of what we're looking for on the daily chart. So we're anticipating a move down like this. So, and you're tagging your 100 now for this complete zigzag. You don't really have a sell setup though. There's no sell setup other than the fact that if you wanted to take 100. Now, if we get a double top up here with divergence or something, you can go ahead and take it. If you want to take this 4-hour buy setup off the 89, you could take it. What? 8 hour. Oversold 8 hour 34B. So price should come take out these highs. All right. You don't have divergence in this wave, and you would want to at least see it come retest these highs. So you're getting an 8 hour 34B now. And that's pretty much where you stand on pound. All right. Yen. Getting ready to get an oversold 4-hour 89B. Jump up to the 8-hour, right? You could be making a running flat right here. It looks like you could be inside of this. You're inside of more than likely a large B wave up. Kind of like that. We could get continuation down here to your 89, 155, 52. 1 hour chart. Do we have anything? All right. 1 hour's bouncing off the 200, right? You get any kind of double bottom down here or correction, you can go ahead and sell it. 4 hour. Oh, you got to see what this next cycle does, right? You're bouncing off your 89 now. You don't have a sell setup for this. You got to see what this next cycle does. Is this next up cycle going to make a lower high and then come down for this running flat? So not much to do on yen. All right, let's cover some of these other crosses, and I'll dive into the ones we covered yesterday. Dollar ZAR. You absolutely want buys in dollar ZAR. Really, all these ZAR pairs. We're looking for this move up. So, and we're looking for an impulsive move up. If the daily's going to stay above the 8, then you're going to have 4-hour 34Bs, 1 hour 200Bs, 8-hour 34Bs. All right, and you're looking for pullbacks to buy up to this. Let's look at Eurozar. When we look at Eurozar, we had a buy trigger as well, and your higher time frame EMAs are bullish. This is all correction. All right, you're getting ready for another impulse. Now, when we go to the weekly chart, you got a weekly signal now. This week, if we close above this 8, you're going to be inside a weekly signal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 swing sequence off the weekly 89. You're oversold, and you could be getting ready to come take out these highs up here on the weekly. Could be getting ready to go. So who knows? Maybe you get another string like this. Right? Maybe you get a weekly impulse that looks like this, right? You got a long correction. You don't know. This is where you want to buy though, right? It's an 89B on the weekly chart. We go to daily chart, and you had I would wait for a pullback. I wouldn't buy this candle, but 4-hour chart. All right, you're looking for 4-hour 34B. You're looking to buy pullbacks off the 34. Look for continuation. Set an alert. Look for continuation. Buy 4-hour pullbacks. Eurozar. Pound ZAR, same thing. It's the same setup on Pound ZAR. Buy 4-hour pullbacks on Pound ZAR. All right. Pound Oz. All this could be correction, right? What do we have here on the 4-hour chart? We went over the pattern. Let's go to daily chart. Why do we want to buy this? This is the bearish pattern. We're on the daily chart. If this consolidation doesn't hold, we're probably in a big flat like this. But the higher probable pattern is this up to the 100. Higher probable pattern is you're on your way up to here, right? And the trend's bullish. 3-day trend's bullish. So we're looking for a minimum of this right now. And you're looking for 700 pips. And right when we step down the time frame to the 4-hour chart, we zoom out. I'll hide these indicators. And we measure this correction. You have a move down, wave up, and you tag the 100. You got an impulse up, right? So this correction could be getting ready to go. All right. This could be ready to go now. And it's kind of like the CAD I showed you, right? You're at a tipping point right now. This thing's either going to take off and go up to this 100 up here at 199, or you're going to drop and this just becomes a running flat at that point. This becomes a running flat and you're coming down to retest these lows, and you're just making a larger flat, but your B wave would come after these lows. So, but you would have a great trade set up either way. But right now, you want to focus on this consolidation. And when we put our indicators back on, you have a 1, a 2, a 3. So you want to buy your next close, 4-hour close above the 8, because this next 4-hour close could be impulsive on, right? Because you have a 3 swing sequence. All right, you want to go, you want to see it go. You're getting oversold. Any 4-hour close above the 8, this thing should go. It could go. That is that, pound dollars. All right, and let's see, Euro Swiss. We covered this one yesterday, right? We were looking for this running flat down. When we jump up to the daily chart, you were running into your quarterly R1. We went over, we had a buy trigger. You could take that, and I drew up the risk to reward down to here. You're going good. You're looking for a move back down to the you're looking for a move back down here. All right. We can look for buy setups when we get down here. We can take a daily 200B down here. Buy setup. All right. CAD Swiss, same thing. Aussie Swiss. Looks like you're coming down, right? And your quarterly R2s were up here. So you could get a move down on that as well. They're all pretty similar. CAD Swiss, Aussie CAD, nothing really to do. Aussie Yen, nothing really to do. So that's pretty much that. Here is the weekly Forex forecast. We went over this on Swiss, and we had this impulse down, and I said you potentially wanted to sell this correction on the 8-hour chart for this impulse down to the 200. Now, here's what is good about this system. That impulse never comes. I drew a bearish 8-hour candle right here. If you make a bearish 8-hour candle, you want to jump in the sell to come down to the 200. All right, so price never gives it to you, so you just don't take the trade, even though you were looking for a sell setup for this 1, 2, 3 that never happened, and you never got in the trade. But nothing to do here on Swiss yen. You're at your quarterly R2, so I am kind of looking for a big reaction, stuff to sell, but we just don't have it yet. So Euro Alls, nothing really doing. 3-day chart, right? 3-day chart. Nothing interesting. No signals, right? You've been in a down for a while. Daily chart. This thing should go. You are in a sell. You're in a bearish daily 34B. When you look at your 3-day chart, you got your bullish 89 and 200 right here. You're kind of too close to the 200 to really want to even take that trade. That's pretty much all I got. So we went over a lot of the patterns. I do think you want them. You want euros are, pounds are, dollars are. Euro Swiss looks like it's making that running flat. Aussie Swiss looks like it's coming down. And that should about do it. We went over all the patterns, right? We went over all the higher time frame patterns on the majors, went over to the lower time frame structures. Kind of what you're looking for to see who's winning the battle so far. And we'll update the charts tomorrow. So that's all I got for now. If you like what I'm doing, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and you got any questions, just leave me a message. All right, have a good one. See ya.